Good evening, VV Nation. My name is Ryan. Welcome to the channel. Now, PCE data did come out this morning in line with expectations. I see the futures up just a little bit, but I'm not sold on this optimism quite yet. As I look through the VectorVest 7 software, seeing more red lights flashing in the color guard here, showing the momentum to the downside. So tonight's presentation, we're going to break down the S&P 500 with the SPY, the QQQ for the NASDAQ 100, along with the VectorVest composite. Also, we're going to take a look at oil, and we're going to take a look at Bitcoin. So tonight, with the pull down, I'm going to show you some levels where potentially we could find some levels of support, and that way you can be a little bit more prepared to get your bottom fishing list ready. Now, with the MTI at 0.66, we are getting close to that oversold territory, showing that the market is looking for a bottom. Doesn't necessarily mean that the bottom is in. That's why I want to show you these levels, get you prepared for an opportunity potentially that could play out in the very near future. Now, this is something that you're interested in. Stick around and let's make some money. So we're in the VectorVest 7 software, the homepage designed to read just like the front page of a newspaper. Market timing, market direction, always the headline story. You can see, look, very easy system to use. Nothing but red lights here, right? So nothing jumping out saying, hey, I should go ahead, jump in and buy some stocks, right? If you do that, hey, it's very aggressive. Who knows what's going to happen? You can see right at the top, VectorVest does not advocate buying any stocks at this time. Now, I'm not going to go into how to read the color guard for bottom fishing opportunities in this video. Just YouTube VectorVest bottom fishing. We've done videos in the past, right? But essentially, you're waiting, for at least one green light, maybe, some follow through the next day, primary wave up. The more confirmation you want, obviously speaks to your risk tolerance. Just have a plan in place. Now, as we take a look here, the MTI is at 0.66, right? The market getting close to a bottom. That's why I said, if you haven't opened up, contra ETFs or down, short positions, essentially, just, watch them because it can be choppy at these levels, right? You get knocked out of those short positions. So let's go ahead and jump into the SPY, QQQ, and VectorVest Composite and see what the trends are telling us. First up, the VVC or VectorVest Composite. Just as a reminder, this does represent the broad market. Over 9,000 stocks we're currently tracking in our database, right? So it gives you a little bit better sense than just the SPY or QQQ. But look what's occurring here, right? You see I've got several levels of support here through this consolidation. We're breaking all of those levels. And this morning, we're sitting right on the 200-day moving average. Typically a level support, right? We saw that as a level support before, and hopefully it'll be utilized as a level support now for the bulls. So let's go ahead and add our levels of support here. Go to technical analysis, go to support resistance. You can see we're sitting currently right at a level support here, 69.54, right on that 200-day moving average, right? With the MTI down at 0.6 is where we are getting close to this oversold territory, right? Historically, this is a good time to go bottom fishing. We're just waiting for some optimism in the color guard to really give us a sense, to pull the trigger on that. Here we've got the SPY, nice smooth price action. However, since November, when inflation started to tick back up, you can see a double, well, looks like a triple top here, and with price action on the retracement. Now, we do see 586.28. That's the current level. We have the current level support 588 and another one at 581. However, if we look at the 200-day moving average just below this level support here, so again, with the momentum to the downside below this Bollinger Band here, I can see some buying pressure coming in pretty soon with this level of support here. But I wouldn't be surprised with the market sentiment right now. We found some more downside action, a little bit closer to this 200-day moving average before putting in the bottom. Now here's the QQQ representing the NASDAQ 100. We could see the sell-off over the last trading week. Right on my level of support here. I've had this for a while, $500 to about $593. This is my level of support here, right? If we take a look, let's go to 3 months. We could see we're getting close to surpassing the prior low, right? If we do surpass this low, it's at 499.7. We're pretty close, so that's easily feasible. So if we put in a new low, any kind of optimism for the bulls that I see in the near future is going to be in this level of support here. Right below it, we do have a 200-day moving average coming in at 491. So depending how long this takes, depending on price action, you can see the 200-day moving average getting right into my support zone. So that would be my one optimism for the bulls, right? See if we can get a pivot here, see if any buying pressure comes into place. But with inflation, geopolitical, tariff concerns ramping up going into springtime, there might be a little bit more pessimism in the market. Now, as far as petroleum, how I track petroleum is I use the petroleum sector. So all of the stocks in VectorVest 7 software, this is a compilation of those items here. Now, we see it currently trading at 31.47. Now, I spoke about oil at the beginning of the year here. Nice rally. We saw an ascending channel here, breakout to the downside. I haven't talked about oil too much over the last week or two, but you can see why the optimism just not there anymore. Told you, treat it like a short-term trade. The opportunities, coming back into petroleum probably won't really occur till closer till summertime. But right now, you can see the price action below that 200-day moving average, price action below the 20-day EMA, all the momentum to the downside. So I can't get behind oil at this time. Now, as we see some levels here, all the support, we're actually in these zones right now. And if I bring this back just a little bit here, you can see we're currently sitting right at the zone at 31.17. So if we could take out this swing high here with these petroleum stocks, which comes in at 32.32, that would give me confirmation for another short-term trade. Now, if you're a long-term oil or petroleum investor, yes, I do get the sense of, buying the dip here. But again, the bottom might just not be in. All right, I'm trading view right now for Bitcoin, just because our ETFs aren't going to give you the big picture, right? There's plenty of ETFs in the VectorVest 7 software to play the space. Right now, I'm not going to advocate playing it because we're in a downtrend, right? You can see the sell-off here. And I've said this over the past several weeks. It doesn't matter about my opinion. Really, it's the adoption as a reserve asset, right? Whether it's state, national, on balance sheet books, for companies, things of that nature. We all know about MicroStrategy, MSTR. Not a big fan of them. And I could see why people were hesitant at $100,000 to start opening up their Bitcoin, right? Because, if I was them and I was going to put lots of money in Bitcoin, billions of dollars, large investments, I'm going to at least have someone look at the chart, right? We got the breakout. I've talked about the cup and handle for quite a bit here in the 60,000, a little descending channel here. It doesn't look too pretty on this line graph. But if we take a look, off to the races, right? So if you're going to ask me, well, Ryan, what might be a good support level, or, what might be a good dip to think about, as far as Bitcoin? Well, right now we're trading 81,000, right? If we take a look at the cup and handle, the cup, this one is probably around $70,000 roughly. On this side, it's around 63,000, right, on that cup. So I'm going to put in a level support, right around, $70,000, right? See what kind of pivots we get, see what kind of news comes out as far as these reserve assets. But, until Bitcoin is really seen as a reserve asset and just doesn't have, MSTR speaking on their behalf, I do see Bitcoin in trouble in the near future. Now, here we've got gold, right? You can see a nice run on it, just like Bitcoin over the last year, right? But just like Bitcoin, it's been pulling back quite a bit, right? You see gold here pulling back around 262. This is the gold share spider. Now, that being said, right, we're still above our 200-day moving average, but we just broke below the 20-day EMA, and we're down at the bottom Bollinger Band. Price action typically likes to hug these Bollinger Bands, so I do see more downside potential. And I find it interesting that not just Bitcoin, but we see gold also taking a hit as market volatility and market uncertainty is assessed by investors. Now, again, my name is Ryan. It's been a pleasure giving you tonight's presentation. I just want to give you a sense, of the overall broad market. Not seeing much optimism there. Obviously, we all know that. But we're approaching levels where you might just want to start thinking about which stocks you might be interested in. And as these levels, come to fruition, and as we see some optimism in the market, I will always put out more videos, try to keep you on the right side. And I hope everybody has a great weekend and enjoyed tonight's presentation.